Death Watch.
Welcome back to Cradle of the World, a Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 campaign by Death Watch Productions. I'm Brandon, the Dungeon Master, and last time we had a battle where Graham and Fenrith had met some approaching goblins and humans on the beach, and Fenrith and Rohan had engaged an airship over the beach, flying over the beach, and the group that approached on foot had a flag of truce, and they implored Fenrith and Graham to surrender, but Fenrith and Graham refused to surrender, and so battle took place. And the heroes were largely successful in this battle, and it was coming to a close at the end of the session. Basically, what happened is the airship had already taken some damage, and as the fight went on, that damage spread, and finally the people on the ship abandoned it. So we'll talk about that for a second to remind everyone that as that ship was listing and they could see smoke and fire coming from it, Rohan, who was quite close to it, saw the bottom of the ship open, and lifeboats started coming out of it. By the end of the session, 2 of them had streaked out of it and fled inland filled with people. And from his vantage point, he can see that there are 2 more coming from the blackness inside there. On the back of it, the bottom had opened as well, and Casimir saw a similar opening there, and this serpentine construct had fallen out of the ocean, or out of it into the ocean. And the noteworthy thing about that particular construct was that as it exited that space, it became clear to Casimir that it was too big to have fit there. So there's something odd going on there. On deck, there was the captain with his magnificent hat and some other humans who had gathered around the captain and simply disappeared. And the heavy constructs on deck had simply walked off and dropped into the ocean. And so that's where that ended for those 2 heroes. Now with Fenrith and Graham, they'd had a battle with multiple goblins, a couple humans, and a couple of large constructs, heavy constructs. And one of them had cast a spell producing a wall of gears behind the heroes. But the battle went on, and eventually those enemies retreated as well. The goblins were all slain. And so that's where we'll pick back up. But first, we'll introduce our heroes, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Casimir, hero of the Roc. I don't have anything quirky to say this week. Oh, it was going to be something like I prepared to fight ghosts, so I have to make some, but that would have been for last week. I'm so ashamed.
Well, I'm Travis. I'm playing Graham, the hero of the sea, and as a longtime Shadowrun player and game master, I'm surprised I forgot Geek the Mage first, which I'm now doing, but he survived my sneak attack somehow, so we're probably done, at least Fenrith and I. So prepare our funerals, guys.
Nah, Fenrith will be just fine.
That's true. Just walk through his twirling blades.
I'm Rohan, hero of the sky, who drastically underestimated the amount of damage that those things could pump into my rock, and Tempest is probably very pissed off at me right now.
That's right. You're the troll in a Stuffer Shack parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm John, playing Fenrith, hero of the flame, and I am surprised that Graham forgot to geek the mage as well.
Thought your wisdom increased, Graham.
Okay, so first we'll go to Graham and Fenrith. And Graham and Fenrith is doing his divine strength divine power grown large, and he's got 2 of these heavy constructs on him. And then, Graham, you had struck a critical blow against that mage, but then watched as some magical effect stitched him back together right after you did that damage. He's clearly not doing well, but he's still alive. And then Casimir, you were, let me pull this up here. So you were on you're behind that ship, and you had seen, all the people on deck disappear and the constructs walk off of it, and there's still that opening on the back of it. And as you look, another one of those serpentine constructs slithers out of it and falls to the ocean below. So now it's your turn, Casimir.
All right. Is our water like clear enough here where I can kind of keep tabs on those serpent submarines or wherever they are?
No, not at this section.
Okay.
You're actually not very far from the beach, but there is a section that drops off quite
all right
precipitously.
I guess I'll kind of circle the area.
Okay.
Maybe if I can signal Rohan with mirror or whatnot that some enemies dropped into the ocean, I'm just keep an eye out for them.
Okay. So you start circling. Do a spot check for me, and for Riven as well.
Was it +2 for those goggles we wear when we are on the birds, or was it 4? I forget.
2, I
Question.
think.
I'll take anything I can get. All right, so there's mine. What is it? Trying to find where I put Riven real quick.
Here I can, let's see.
Riven. Did that work? Nope.
Try that.
Where? Nothing like popped up for me. There we go. What do we got here? Just for time's sake, I'll keep looking at that here in a second. So there's Rivens.
Okay. All right. So you're taking a wide circle around. Now, black smoke is just billowing out of this airship into the sky, and you're looking down at the water, and a great deal of it this close to the beach is crystal clear, and you can see the ground and the sand and the coral and all that. But right about the center portion of that beach, about 20 feet out, there's this massive black hole where the ground drops off. It's very deep, and that stretches out further into the ocean. So, but you are able to spot the tail end of one of those serpentine constructs disappearing into the blackness in that area.
Okay.
And then that'll bring us to, all right. So back to the battle with Graham and Fenrith. So Fenrith, you've got these constructs here, and this one will punch you. Yeah, so it'll take 2 punches at you, Fenrith. Yeah, so he swings both of his hands at you, but you're able to block them with your shield, so no damage there. And then Graham, this human that you were facing is clearly on death's doorstep, but he takes a step back and he casts a spell, and he shouts. Before he does, he shouts out, "Retreat!" at the top of his lungs, and he casts a spell.
He's going to leave Fenrith and I here with me trying to steal his sword.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is Fenrith big right now? You just put his hand on your head. And...
I'm going to see if I have enough presence of mind to try to negotiate it out before I accost them, but it didn't seem like that's what the spell sounded like.
Yeah.
As anybody that came near me and that I thought might want the sword, I would attack.
Yeah, so he casts a spell and disappears. And then Fenrith, that brings us to you.
All right. Changes things here. All right. I'm going to try and grapple this law enforcer 1.
Okay. All right. Do you have improved grapple?
No.
Okay. So it will take its attack of opportunity against you. That misses. All right. Now oppose grapple. So that's yours. Let me get his. So it wins the grapple. So you're not able to initiate with your first attack there.
All right. And am I still able to cast a spell?
No. No, you could do another attack or you could do a move.
All right. As I'll just move to over here. I'll free action activate haste boots, move it over here.
Okay, 1 second here. All right, do they have feet? No. Okay, so you move over there, past him, and come over to this spot here. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that should be it.
Haste on you here. Okay, and then brings him. So yeah, I mean it's hard for either of you to see, but that second in command with the rifle, who was way up here to the north, he disappears. He darts off into the distance, heading inland. And now Rohan. So Rohan, you had, as the lifeboats had come out, you'd fired at a couple of people in them, and then the lifeboats had zipped off at ridiculous speed into the inland, and now you see another 2 more come out as well.
Okay. So before my turn?
Yeah, like now.
So they're already gone?
No. They're coming out as your turn starts.
Okay. I'm going to, what was it, the wing over that allows you to flip around and come back to there. And then I'm going to use the, the gust of wind up into the hold. So as they're coming out, I'm going to try and blow them back into the hold.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Gust of wind. Let's look that up here.
It creates a severe blast of air, approximately 50 miles an hour, that originates from you, affecting all creatures in its path.
See, a line-shaped gust of severe wind.
Yeah.
Emanating out from you to the extreme range. The extreme of the range, which is 60 feet.
Yeah, I think I'm in range.
All right. So 50 miles per hour. Tiny or small. Knocked down and rolled.
Unless they're flying and then they're like flung backwards.
Yeah, small creatures.
No.
Medium are unable to move forward against the force of the wind.
Unless they're flying and then they get thrown back.
And large or larger may move normally. Okay.
So yeah, see if I can throw some creatures out of the boats or overturn the boats or just push the boats back into the inferno that's inside the ship. So
this is negated by a fortitude?
Yeah. Fortitude 12.
Okay. So these two show, come out of that darkness of the hold there, and they're also full of, one of them's full of humans, the other's full of goblins. And you cast this, and so wind, jets towards them there. And let me do...
I failed my own fort save by accidentally targeting myself.
At least you got it out of the way.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're rolling like me, you'll have a few more of those in your future.
Yeah, they do seem to come in clusters.
Actually, I don't even think I see John rolling that well. This dice roller's really cracked the code.
True RNG.
Man, I think I did get like a double or a triple critical one time, but it was overkill on an enemy, right? Mm-hmm. Like the one hit would have done the job.
Yeah.
Oh, I seem to vaguely remember one time when I said, if you get another 20, then you instant kill something.
Yeah.
And it happened.
I think that is an optional rule, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was on like something that should have challenged the entire party. And it was like one shot at it.
All right. So the lifeboat that you targeted with this is full of goblins. and they've got their rifles, and you can see that there's plenty of space on this lifeboat. Goblins are small, but there's a lot of like chests in the bottom of the lifeboat. And this gust of wind hits it, and so you can see 12 goblins on there, and 9 of them fly off of the lifeboat.
Nice.
And a couple of them like hit the airship, but all of them fall into the water. The remaining 3 hanging on for dear life, and the lifeboat zips away with the other one fully human.
Okay.
But you do see 9 of these goblins fall to the water below.
All right. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. And then, and then Casimir, from your vantage point, you also see the 2 heavy constructs that had walked off of the ship. You can see they each landed on the other side, on either side of this canyon, this underwater canyon.
Okay.
And you watch them walk into it and sink into the deep.
All right. Looks like we get to tie some rocks to Graham.
Water breathing is a pretty low-level spell, right?
I think so. I know John had it. That's how he went pearl diving.
Getting a bit of slowdown in our program here.
Yeah. It's
All
level
right.
3.
Let's see.
What's the casting on it? You?
Touch. Yeah.
Well, I guess
2 hours
technically
per
I
level.
could cast it on everybody, right? Because it's unlimited use out of my signet ring.
Oh.
All right. Okay, Graham Fenrith, back to you. So, that human had shouted retreat and then disappeared after casting a spell. And Fenrith, you had moved away from these heavy constructs. And this first one here that's now closest to you is no longer paying attention to you. And it turns inland, and it takes off at a higher speed than you would have thought possible. And it goes tearing off this way. Past that wall, you can hear the sound of all those gears chunking and thunking as it runs through the wall, but then it disappears into the tree line. And then, Graham, that brings us to you.
Okay, so I'll spend my standard action to do total defense, and I'll move up behind Fenrith for soft cover again. Well, Fenrith, should we go after them?
I know that they'll end up coming back, I'm sure, but we've made our point for now.
Okay. But I still stand at the ready because I'm in total defense.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. And then Casimir, you're not seeing any more come out of the back there. As a matter of fact, in that darkness now, you can see fire from inside the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Do another spot for me.
You want Riven too?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So, you both of you, like Riven alerts you, but you both happen to see it at the same time. From where you are, looking back towards the village, you turn your head just in time to spot. Well, first things first, what draws your attention is you're out over the ocean there by the beach, and you're facing this airship, which was going in a easterly direction. So behind you, you happen to turn and spot an explosion way back, still over the ocean, but behind you. And let me get so where you are, you look behind you, then to the west, you would see the water, and there's no more beach because this is the section where the water goes right up to the rock.
Okay.
Just past where the home of the heroes is situated, up on that cliff. And you see an explosion back there, and you catch it just in time to see, wood and metal falling into the ocean. But also, more importantly, you both see 2 of these lifeboats streaking over the hill, the rocky cliffs, directly toward the village.
All right.
Like it looks to you that they'll come to a landing somewhere in the village.
Okay. So I'll signal Rohan something real simple like more incoming or something like that, and then village, and I'll start flying that way.
Okay. All right. And then back with you guys, this other construct also takes off through the wall and, at a much faster than you would think something like this should be able to move, and it disappears into the tree line. And then Graham and Fenrith, all you guys do a listen.
I heard a cat.
You guys actually haven't seen Omen in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Fenrith rolled a nat 20. And Graham rolled an unnat 20.
Uh-oh.
So I rolled a 5.
All right. So for both of you, you hear loud crashing and cracking. That's definitely the sound of breaking trees coming from the village. Where you are, it's a pretty good steep path up to the level where the village is, but you can hear that the sound of trees snapping and breaking and a loud crashing back in the village. And Fenrith, it's your turn.
All right. So I'm going to take hold of Graham's hand, and as long as he is willing, we will, I'll cast Word of Recall, teleport back to the hero house.
Graham, would you like to take an attack of opportunity?
I was already holding your hand.
Saving throw.
I have your hand in my left hand and your sword in my right hand. I'm ready to go. And my dagger's in your back.
All right. So with this spell, you both you get this odd sensation as the world seems to spaghettify, and then you then blackness, and then you find yourself in the home of the hero. Where did you set your word of recall to?
Just in the main living area there. I figure that's big enough for everybody.
All right.
Gateway into the butler.
All right. Give me a second here.
It's like Doom style portal.
Uh-huh.
Just pops them.
That kind of is how teleporting works in D&D, right? You teleport yourself into a mountain. You
Shunt through 100 feet of rock.
All right. So Graham and Fenrith, you get to be the first to see the model of the home of the heroes that I made. So let me put...
Excited.
That means that we were here first. Let's choose new rooms.
Now I realized that I had been sleeping in a space underneath the stairwell.
You're Harry Potter.
Right. I'd like that.
Yeah.
That's a problem with me, though. I always was trying to find the smallest place to play my video games because it becomes less complicated to block out outside interference. I wanted a closet, like a long closet, put my TV at one end, and I could sit back and I could slide the door closed, just be in the closet.
I had a cousin whose bedroom was basically a closet under the stairs.
Really?
Because his parents had like 6 or 7 kids.
That's how he got them.
Yeah, and that was his only way for him to get his own room. And it was just wide enough for his bed.
All right. So Graham and Fenrith, you pop into the main living space of the home of the heroes there. And I haven't turned on like the
global light,
the walls and stuff, so you can see the whole thing, but that's not going to break anything. So.
Looks a lot nicer than I thought.
Especially after all the death.
Those couches used to be beige.
I think.
So anyway, there you find yourself, and
Rohan
that's your turn, and then he's gone. Well,
someone left a scroll sitting on the couch.
Yeah, and that'll bring us to you, Rohan. And so you had cast that, and then those 2 lifeboats zipped off. 2 more now come out.
Okay. I'm going to try and stay underneath where they are, but track them. I know I can't go as fast as they can, but...
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll start following, and I will use my 1 cure... I think it's cure moderate wound on my rock.
All right.
there enough blood in the House of Heroes that triggers your vision? The place has a pulse now.
Where is it?
There's an artery running right here.
Oh man, there's some horror for Graham to realize that he's living inside. The house is alive, guys.
All right. Yeah, I did my whopping 14 points of healing to Tempest, and
Nice.
Did it?
Roughly 8% of the damage that he had taken.
Okay.
It basically took AA fire like a
All
full
right.
barrage.
So, Rohan, you see these two come out, and you're staying below them, and they also jet off inland over what would have in the olden days been the plain section, but now is taken by a forest. They head in that direction.
Okay.
They streak over where Graham and Fenrith used to be. And you also, now you're lower, so yeah, you don't. So Casimir had said the village to you.
Yeah.
Sign languaged it at you.
I'll sign back troops in forest.
Okay. All right. So, Graham, you find yourself in the home of the heroes there. And what would you like to do?
Well, I'll look at Fenrith. I'll unclasp my hand from his, and I'll ask him, well, Fenrith, what should we do next?
I think we should go get on the rocks and make sure that there aren't any more around the town.
Okay.
And possibly link up with Rohan and Casimir.
All right, I'm right behind you.
Okay. Are you going to wait for him to go? Because it's your move.
Yeah. I mean, I'll delay my turn.
Okay.
Rogues can't lead.
Casimir, your turn.
All right. So I was heading back towards the village.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So in one turn, you find yourself over top of the home of the heroes now.
Okay. So I'll keep going then.
And from here, you can, the trees are very thick. There's not a lot of places to land. Certainly none in the village, unless you land like on top of the council hall, or you could land in that clearing if nobody's in it. But that from there, you can see like smoke, and you can hear the sound of those rifles.
Okay.
Fenrith.
All right, so I will start making my way out of the house.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you get outside, and as soon as you get outside, you can hear the sound of those rifles and some screaming from the village.
They're attacking the village. Graham, let's hurry.
Yeah. So you hear that. You hear him say that, Graham, and you're right behind him. So it'll take you guys 3 turns to get to the village.
I'm going to get some sort of enchantment for these birds that give them dragon sphere.
All right, Rohan. So you are, let's see, you can't be there because that's not a square.
The old spell filter here.
All right, so you're there, and that is 60 feet away.
You permanent
55
fear?
feet away. So
I
Rohan,
don't think so.
as your turn starts, this airship somehow had been staying in place, and now it starts falling, and then it explodes. A massive fireball sends shrapnel in all directions. So both you and Riven will do a reflex save, Tempest will do a reflex save.
Okay.
Do you have Tempest character sheet? Do I need to
I can double click on. There we go.
Guess you could make it wear symbols of fear.
And then whoever looks at them.
Right.
Okay. And did I need to make it as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause fear.
And you have evasion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tempest will take 10 damage from this blast wave,
Okay.
and you'll take none damage. But then that airship falls into the water below in a twisting, burning pile of wreckage.
Okay.
But it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll follow after those boats and start gaining some height to try and track where they land.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you start gaining elevation and flying inland. That'll be you. And then Casimir, you can make it to the village this turn.
Okay.
And so as you approach, you see that's what's taking place. There's 2 crashed lifeboats. One is crashed into the roof of the blacksmith shop, and the other one has crashed in the village center, kind of close to the well. And you can see a bunch of goblins with those rifles firing wildly at villagers that are running for cover.
All right.
So, let me give you this. This better stop happening. I don't think I can give you a map.
If you want, we can stick with the sky map.
Yeah.
And you can just put tokens up about appropriate
We're going to
distance.
have to because I might have deleted it.
Cradles no more. So we are heroes without a home.
Well, no, they're in the home map. There's just nothing around it anymore.
Oh, we're heroes without a town.
Yeah.
What does a hero protect, right? Like a word, right? Like civilian would be used maybe in like a modern comic.
What was the old chivalry wording? It wasn't the weak, it was the helpless,
The downtrodden.
downtrodden.
I think some of the villagers
They
might not
protect-
like.
Right. That's calling them weak. Well, you're weak, so
Well, especially the way like what is it? Is it Fenrith and Rohan that's always proclaiming themselves heroes all the
Yeah.
time? So don't worry, you helpless, weak, downtrodden peasants. I, Rohan, the hero of the sky, will protect you.
I
see
guess
nothing
in their
wrong with that.
defense, the villagers put that title on us. It's their, they should have thought. Okay, so permanency, symbol of fear, and just put it on the lower end of it. So
Okay.
we wouldn't have a problem with it.
Maybe like the harness, the bottom of the harness type.
And if it's the look one, you can have it covered. And I mean, we could have some mechanism to unleash the fear, right? But we'd have to be at
I
60
kinda
feet over.
don't want to cover it when we fly. I want to terrorize the villagers, if I'm being honest.
Terrorize each other whenever we.
Well, it's like Skyrim. If the villagers don't have like the mod to be scared of the dragons, they
Yeah.
just stand there and they get slaughtered. They need to be inside. It's for their own good. Those weak, downtrodden fools. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, I must have deleted it.
all right.
So anyways, you're over, and I can give, well, this will kind of work.
Is there an HD limit?
No, I was clearing some stuff out to speed up because I realized I had so much data in here,
Yeah.
and I must have just accidentally did that one. So
Yeah. And it happens real quick with some of those images,
Yeah.
real big maps. Like I was trying to figure out how I do some of those Battletech maps because like they want like 4 of them. And
Yeah.
I was just going to make a separate.
Yeah, I
Northeast.
stitched one together and rolled 20 one time, but
Yeah.
it was when you get them too big, it really bogs down roll 20.
Yeah, so I was just going to have like northeast, southwest,
Right.
and center or something like that and put you on whichever one. Plus, I want like 4 map artillery too.
Mhm.
So I think that's just a icon.
Well, moving the players, it does kind of suck. You can only have them on the one page. You can't split them up. But moving them is really easy.
you can. I
Oh,
believe
really?
so. Yeah, I think you drag their icon to the map you want them on, and I think you
Cool.
can split them.
I thought I only had the one thing.
I'm not too positive on that because like the sandbox where you're creating character sheets doesn't have full functionality.
Right.
So,
all right. So let me just give you this as a visual representation here.
all right.
And I'll just mark the basic area they're in. We'll put you on there, give you an idea. All right, you see that?
Yep.
All right, so Council Hall, that area is where we're talking about.
Okay.
So you're talking this area,
I think
and then,
you're right.
blacksmith. This is like the well here, this thing in the center, and then blacksmith shop is here. So there's some goblins, and the others are like on the ground over here, and they're firing wildly at people. So so you can see that there are a couple of unmoving goblins that either died in the crash or some other way, and then the rest are like wildly firing these rifles at villagers that are trying to get out of the way, trying to duck and cover.
Here, Village Green. All right. I'll fly over to the ones that are out in the open. Just trying to figure out which one's the blacksmith. I didn't see any like symbols or markers pop up when you were saying some of that stuff. I see the council hall.
Did you see any of the drawing I did?
I don't see any of them.
Oh, I see. So let me just put a marker down. Can you see that token?
Yeah, right. Was that northwest of the council hall?
Yeah, that's the blacksmith shop.
Okay.
And then just put them on. Here's some goblins.
Alrighty.
So these are the ones that are on top of the blacksmith.
Okay.
There's 4 of them there. And then there's another 4 over by the well, kind of. Let me get them on here. There you go. So you can see those ones now, too.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah.
Alrighty. 35 feet. And like, how high was the airship? It was like 160 feet in the air?
Yeah, it was like 100 feet over the water.
100 feet?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll begin flying.
You'd be like 40 feet above that area.
Okay. So yeah, I'll move on up, and then Riven will dive and attempt to attack. What is that? Goblin rifleman? Is that 1?
3.
3.
3 or 2, yeah. Because actually, if you're just using... Do you want me to put Riven on the map?
Yeah, sure.
That'll be better because Riven's big.
Oh yeah.
So let me move you so you don't get lost. Keep you to the side here so you can. So anyway, there you go.
And she will attack with one of her talons.
Okay.
Is that just 1? I think so. Yeah.
All right. So on Goblin 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hit.
All right. And then what is it? Improve grapple for the snatch, right?
Yeah. Snatch.
Or does she deal damage first? I forget.
Yeah. She deals damage first.
Okay.
And then the grab.
So there's her damage.
Okay. Yeah. So she reaches down, snatches this goblin in her talon there, which, covers most of his whole chest. And then, so then you'll do, opposed grapple.
Okay. There that is.
You see, so Riven got a 46 and the goblin got a 17. So what that means now is, in this case, if the creature gets a hold on a creature 3 or more sizes smaller, it squeezes each round for automatic claw damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that fits here because that's a small and
Okay.
Riven's gargantuan.
Do you want that now, or do you want it on the beginning of the next turn?
Yeah, next turn.
Okay. And then, what is it? I believe we have fly, or what is it?
Fling.
No, that's not the one.
Oh.
The one where we keep going. Maybe we
Flyby
don't.
attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you should have it.
it was 30, and then I might not be able to keep going. I was 40 above, I think you said.
Yeah, so you'd come 40 feet.
70.
Well, you'd come 30 feet down because they're on the roof.
Okay.
So 30 feet. And then, you can take a move action, including a dive, and another standard action at any point during the move. So if you've still got movement, you can keep going.
Okay. So I think I got about like 20-ish feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just keep going straight over the house that way.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. And then that brings us to you, Fenrith. You and Graham are continuing on towards the village. You
Correct.
saw Riven fly overhead, shadow darkening the path that you're running through. But you keep going. And then same for you, Graham.
Yep. I
Okay.
got a couple more rounds.
Okay, Rohan.
Continue gaining altitude and following those boats,
Okay.
trying to get a position of where they're landing.
Okay. So you continue to gain altitude, and they're extremely fast. So they're streaking over the treetops, and they're getting smaller and smaller to you. But you are able to see. You're still able to see them.
Okay.
But it seems like they're either crashing or they're skillfully flying just above the treetops. It's hard to tell from this distance, but they are continuing in that northerly direction.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep following them.
Okay. All right. And then, so yeah, these goblins, they let out a shriek and they all swing their rifles around and start taking shots at Riven.
Now it's my turn to find out what Rohan went through.
Well, it was the chain lightning from the captain that really bit into Riven, and then the laser from the automaton.
Mm.
Those two did like 120 damage or something like that between the two of them.
Are you correcting our Ottoman? Well, how do we say it? We don't say automaton. Our pronunciation's wrong.
It's because of Grandia 2
yeah.
automaton.
Yeah, automaton. There we go. That's tradition, Justin.
I was unaware of that.
Flying overhead.
We even had poems with that in it.
Let's see, that's one.
I got yelled at by my dad because I kept saying it that way.
Automaton.
All right, so that
We had verse about John with that pronunciation.
so one shot hits.
Just like our conflagration. There
hang
you
on, let me.
We
Our
were all
coup
like-
de grace.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing about you correcting conflagration is we corrected you.
Let me take
And
that
you let
one
it
away.
slide because you have a lot of grace sometimes.
Take that one away because I didn't roll the attack roll, just the damage there. So okay, so we'll take that back. It's hard for these guys to miss, but
Yeah.
you never know. So there's a critical threat, critical hit,
Ooh.
20 damage.
Thanks for pointing that roll 20 thing out to me, Chris. I had an idea that was somewhat hampered
Another
by
hit.
not being able to split the party like I thought, but
Yeah.
that's cool.
And then we'll do 13 damage there. And then this other one, he will. So this last one, he's aiming up and he's, he's taking aim and but something goes wrong with his, because you hear the sound that they make, but then there's like a pause and then like 8 in a row, just pop, 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 pop. And then a loud explosion. And that thing blows up in his hand.
Oh, man.
So you can see from your vantage point smoke,
Yeah.
but also you do sort of detect the telltale signs of magical effect in there.
Okay.
And that does.
What were those? Were they duckbills? The guns that had like 4 barrels that were always prone to. There was one where they were kind of.
Yeah, weren't they like layered kind of like in a square pattern?
There was a bunch because they were trying to get any sort of more ammo capacity.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think there was one that was kind of like fanned out.
That was
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
So then these, the ones on the roof that are left on the roof, they'll take some shots as well.
All right.
Let me move target. So that one hits for 5 damage.
How bad are you here, Riven?
Yeah,
These are accurate, but they don't really do a whole lot of damage.
But there's enough of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? 8 with a potential of, I don't know, 1 to 20 something, depending on if they're critical or not.
Yeah.
All right. And then that third one there, we'll try to break out of the grapple there. So we'll do an opposed grapple.
All right.
This thing gets a +3 grapple, so you better
Okay.
you better take it seriously. Yeah, so that doesn't work for it. And then this last one will take its shot for 7 damage there. So all this pop, 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 pop. And you can feel the impacts of these things hitting Riven underneath you. And some feathers go flying. But that brings us to your turn, Casimir.
Okay. She will do the, the crush?
Automatic claw damage there.
So there's 15.
Squeezes there. And, at that's just like, popping a little tomato and that goblin goes limp in her talon there.
And then she'll fling the corpse at one of the groups of hobgoblins.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll
The
do
goblins.
anything, but hopefully they'll maybe scatter, get spooked or something. Is there a roll that I need to make for that, or is it just 1d6.
Is it like a thrown weapon to see how close you get?
That could work, I guess.
Well-
Ranged attack.
Let's see, for the, where was it? Because that's part of snatch as well.
Mm-hmm. Was it
use
either
a standard
or?
action to fling it aside.
Okay.
And a flung creature travels 1d6 times 10 feet. So just roll 1d6. We'll see how far she flings him.
So 30?
And then we'll do the improvised weapon here. So yeah, because it will continue to fall, that'll be enough range.
Okay.
And then we'll see what happens
All right.
with the improvised.
Because goblins aren't on our land, like naturally, they're not native here. They're technically an exotic weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. What does that stack the penalty up to?
I think it's, is it -4 for an exotic weapon? I don't know about improvise. I think it might be the same.
Right. 4.
All right. So not crafted to be a weapon, nonetheless can be used in combat, designed for this. So yeah, doing you would just do a ranged attack with a -4
Okay.
in this case, because the weight's not going to bother.
Trying to find where her base attack is.
Yeah. Yeah, right, because she doesn't have a range there. So base attack is +17.
Okay. And then
And
minus.
dex is 15, so you don't get a minus. So minus, well, what is that? -2 then, right?
Okay.
Because you get 2 from 15.
-2.
Yeah, so just pick one of those. Which one are you going to throw it at?
It doesn't really matter. Pick of the litter. I'll let you do it.
So we'll do number 8 then. Their AC is a little too high.
All right.
It does manage to dodge out of the way.
Then she'll go. What is this? Wing over 10 feet?
I think it improved with our improved flight, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Oh.
Or maybe not. I guess wing over its own thing, but yeah, 10 feet.
So you can
Okay.
change direction once round as a free. Allows it to turn 180 degrees. In addition to any other turns it's normally allowed. The change of direction consumes 10 feet of flying.
All right. So she'll go 70 feet beyond the blacksmith's house and
Okay.
then wing over and face 180 degrees. So back the way she came.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I guess our turn is as good as a wing over now.
Yeah. Like, I think we can turn in place now.
Are we good or perfect?
We're good.
So we do 90 degrees for
Okay.
each 5 feet.
All right.
And we can turn in place the same rate. It just costs 5 feet. So
Okay.
we can
Fenrith
travel or not.
and
Yeah.
Graham, you guys are still going to the village?
Yep.
All right. So at this point, you guys reach the just the edge of the grounds of the council hall, and I'll put you on there. And this map is not exact, so just work with it.
But I want her to be as big as the council hall.
So let me share it with you. So that puts you about there. So on the other side of the council hall, I mean, you can see them on the map, but your characters can't because you're blocked by the house. But you can hear the sounds of the rifles over there, and you can see people running and trying to dive into houses and whatever. And you saw Riven and Casimir streak to the north, but that's where you
Yeah.
get at the end of your turn.
All right. Yeah, I'll just I'll call back to Graham while or I guess ahead to Graham, unless he's following behind me.
Yeah, he's behind you.
All right. Probably wondering why I'm so slow here. But it's, we're almost there. Let's hurry, and then
Don't say it at
continue
the
to
end of your
slowly
turn.
plod along.
Okay. Because he can't move anymore.
It made him bigger, but it doesn't make his bones denser. So he can't run.
Gotta be careful.
All right, and Rohan.
Continue to gain as much altitude as I can to try and get a better, vantage point over the forest to see.
Yeah. So at this point, you've reached enough altitude to get a very good picture of the land ahead, and you can see what used to be the farmland and is now thick forest.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch those little lifeboats disappear far to the north, in your estimation, just past where the island used to end.
Okay.
And they disappear into the trees.
All right. I'm going to keep heading that direction, see if I can pinpoint, because we're going to need to send someone out here to face him.
Okay. All right. That's you. All right. So these goblins now, they'll start taking their shots. Let me get so they'll still keep sending shots towards Riven. So what is that range? 150, and these have... All right. So you're still one range increment. All right. So more shots coming Riven's way, Casimir. Right. 15 damage there.
Gonna go snatch Fenrith or Graham on my next turn. Have him heal me.
12 there.
How is he doing? Oh, 94.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay. 15 there.
Yeah.
So this other group, so this one takes his turn to climb down off of the roof. And so does that one. That one is dead. And this one also climbs down. And then Casimir, your turn.
Alrighty.
So behind you, you've lost sight of the ones that were on the roof.
Okay, so like the one I just marked.
Yeah, those three you lost sight of them, but
right.
You can still see 5 through 8 by the well.
All right, let's target number 7, and we'll do a repeat. So she'll fly on over and attack him.
Okay. All right.
All right, there we go.
It's a hit.
There's the damage and grapple. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really lose under any circumstances against.
Is grapple subject to critical
I suppose that's the one way you could do it is if you got a 1 and.
I did.
They did. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you still got a 42.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're not able to establish the grapple.
Yeah.
But you still did damage. Are you going to continue on?
No, I think she'll begin hovering there, or in her flight. She doesn't need to start hovering yet, I guess.
Okay. And then you?
I'll stay in. I'm not going to cast any. Well, maybe I can. Let's see here. I don't think I have mage armor prepared. I can't shield her. Can I see any of those? Because that's like the problem, right? I don't think I can actually see below her at those goblins.
Yeah, I guess she would block your vision. But from here now, you'd be able to see the ones that are down in front of the blacksmith shop.
All right. Let's see. I got a move thing going on. I don't know why it's there. I'll target Goblin Rifleman 1.
Okay.
And I will lob a magic missile at him. So let's see if I can cast it. All right, so percentile goes off. Do you want a concentration check fighting on Riven? I think that would be one, right?
Yeah, but I mean, what's your concentration skill?
14.
Are you within 20 feet of the ground?
Why?
Because once you start hovering, if you're within 20 feet...
She's technically not hovering yet. She ended her movement.
I know, but if you start hovering, then it creates a dust storm underneath you.
Storm, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That adds concealment.
Let's see. Concentration.
Let's see. Vigorous motion on a moving mount. That'd be a 10.
Okay.
Which you can't fail, right?
Yeah.
So, no, don't bother with it this time.
All
if
right,
it were violent motion, then we'll talk.
All right. So I target Rifleman 1. So there's Tay damage.
Okay.
I think it's still screwing up the damage on that, but
yeah, I think it gave it to Riven. Yeah.
Oh.
Here, I'll fix it.
She is kind of
unerringly
big.
strikes the rock.
Well, I have her targeted originally because of distance, because that's how I was using her to track distance when I wasn't targeting anything with her.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so the magic missiles strike that goblin rifleman down there on the ground.
All right. And that's my turn.
Okay. And then Fenrith, your move now.
So it's a feat, it's not really a mystical ability. Does that mean they're like giant hummingbirds. That's how fast their wings are going.
Yeah, pretty much.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, they've got to move them pretty fast to hover, you know?
Well, there are birds of prey that hover that don't beat that fast.
Yeah.
They're just like
Just enough to stay aloft.
yeah, basically.
I guess if we went up to the perfect, can we take that feat more than one time?
I don't know.
Because that would be one. Because the way that the hummingbird can dart, in different directions. Struggle to think of a bird of prey that moves like that.
Kestrels.
Those are pretty small, too. Osprey. I mean, these are all pretty small birds. I don't think we're talking about raptors here.
Yeah.
Kingfishers. Anyway, Fenrith, what do you want to do?
Yeah. I just don't see a dragon flapping its wings that fast, which is what hover is meant for.
Did good maneuverability always have the hover in it, or did they update that?
Wasn't sure.
Always in 3.5.
Fenrith.
Did he say he had to go do something?
No.
A while back he did. Maybe he's still not back.
Okay.
I thought he had turned since then, though.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe we lost him. Did we lose you, Fenrith?
Is your push to talk not working, Fenrith?
Probably one of those little rock creatures came up and knocked him off a mountain in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's playing Breath of the Wild. Yeah, he's probably cussing at the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not that too crazy.
And that's a buzzard. That's a fairly large bird. But yeah, it looks kind of desperate in the way that it's flapping.
It looks like it's
maintain that
using
hover.
it's relying a bit on I don't know what, wind shear, is that what you call it?
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Fenrith delays his action to see what Graham's going to do. Graham, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm looking at these goblins. Can I see them on the other side of the council hall, or are we just hearing the ruckus?
Yeah, you're just hearing it.
Well, I guess then I want to move up so I can get a look at the situation.
Okay. Yeah, so you can move up to where you can peek around the back corner of the council hall, and then you can see those ones by the well in that area, 5 through 8.
Okay, and if I have any actions yet, then what I'm looking for is some hard cover to get behind so I can start lobbing some fireballs at these groups of goblins.
Yeah, there's plenty of it. I mean, you've got like the...
But I need to be within 70 feet.
Yeah, which you are. I mean, you've got the corner of the council hall. You could be... There's wagons nearby.
Do we have distance? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just stick at that corner then and grab off one of those fireballs and chuck it
Okay.
at the group. Draw up a pointer. Are there any collateral damage targets I should be aware of?
So what's the radius? 20?
Yeah.
So if you're going to fling that, then you should also target the other goblins as well.
Okay.
No, it looks like you might be hitting. Okay, there you go.
I just want to make sure I'm not being a hero.
No, Riven and Casimir are a little higher than that.
Okay.
Also the villagers. I mean, I know we don't really care about them that much. But...
No, there's not in that radius.
Okay.
they've all ducked inside or gotten out of the area.
Okay. So let me target them. All right. Here comes the fireball. This is going to be the level 6 one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Reflex saves.
Okay.
And here's for the damage.
Yeah, a lot of them got it. Well, 3 of them. Okay. Yeah, so you fling this bead out there and it explodes and fire envelops all of these goblins. And when the fire dissipates, there are 2 blackened, crispy bodies laying on the ground.
And that wraps it up for me.
1 and 7 are dead. Okay. So, Fenrith, Graham stepped up around the corner of the council hall, and you saw him throw something and then heard a loud explosion, and fire burst into the sky, and now it's your turn.
All right. I will do a single move action as 40 feet, as I should still be hasted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get my spell list back up here. All right. I will use my... Well, let me see what the range is. How far away are they?
20 feet-ish.
Oh, okay. Those 3 goblins to the right there, what is all around them?
So they're next to the well, but basically, other than that, it's, just flat ground.
Wells can be rebuilt, Fenrith.
Like you said, whales.
Is I'll try not to get any of this in the well, but I'll use my last flame strike from my ring.
Okay.
And convert the fire to acid.
Okay.
You got to start doing cold or something.
Well, it's a feat, so I'd have to take it. I'd have to take it again and take cold, as most things don't have resistance to acid. So
no, it makes sense. That's just when I imagine coming out to the bubbly news of
He's going to take the feat a second time and convert his positive energy on his healing to negative.
All right. Go ahead.
I can't heal you guys.
Do your casting.
He doesn't need to do that. He has. Well, I guess he can't spontaneously cast the.
No, that's just the
farm.
joke. Is that
Okay.
he now
Then
can't
do your
heal
damage.
okay.
Well, we've got a backup healer.
us. Well, he is our cleric. Graham is our cleric.
All right. So you cast this flame strike, and this green pillar of acid appears from the sky and splashes down over these goblins. And when that dissipates, you can smell burning flesh, and you hear a couple of sharp yelps. But there are 2 goblins of that group who've been reduced to a puddle of boiling, hissing liquid that vaguely resembles something that was a living creature at one point.
Nice.
Is it? Sorry. Every time I do something like that, I always think of the South Park episode, the homeless one. Was that guy's wife when they travel to the other town?
No, I didn't see it.
I always like to picture RoboCop, that one bad guy.
That's basically what it is, yeah. Help me. All right, so that's it for Fenrith, and that'll bring us to Rohan.
Yeah, continue to.
Okay. So, Rohan, you've gained elevation, and you're flying above this brand new forest, and you leave behind the section of it that you traveled through when you were gathering all the people. And far to the east, you can see the hills and then the dark swamp beyond it. Mm-hmm. And looking north, the direction you're going, off to your left is the Angry Mountain stretching high into the sky. And then trees as far as you can see north. It looks from your vantage point like once the forest gets past where the island used to end, then it spreads east and west as well as along, as well as north. So right now, what you're looking at, I mean, it really does look like the whole rest of existence is a forest.
Okay.
And so you're traveling in that direction towards where you saw them disappear. But, the problem with the topography and the terrain is that the trees are so thick that you don't actually know exactly where they disappeared anymore. You can't make out one spot that's different from another. There are some areas here and there as you travel over where they're thin enough that you can see down in there, and you can see the ground here and there. And then, but by the end of this turn, you reach a point where you're looking through the trees, and they just give way suddenly for about a mile, and you're looking down into a canyon at the bottom of which is a river that flows west towards the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Where there used to be a river you guys traveled over way back in the early days. And if your judge of the topography and the geography is correct, this river you're looking at now is a continuation of that river that used to end, but now it looks like it's opened up again. But that's what you see on this turn. You're not seeing any like the boats or anything. They would have disappeared far ahead of this.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I'm going to continue scouting.
yeah. Okay. All right. So you continue on, and That'll bring us back to these remaining goblins. So this one by the well, this one that's left, he's like all of his flesh is melted and blackened from the fire and the acid, and you can see he's raising this rifle, but his forward hand is nothing but a stump, and he can't keep it level, but he's still going to take a shot at the bird up in the sky there.
Top of his head skin is fused with his shoulder skin, so he's always just...
Pretty much, yeah. But he'll take a shot, and he hits, and he'll do 16 damage to Riven.
Poor bird.
And then, so this other one over here, he's standing out in front of the blacksmith shop, and he wheels around, and he's going to take a shot at Fenrith there. He's going to do 2 shots at Fenrith.
Yeah, Riven's getting like death by 1,000 cuts execution style here.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong attack. 2 shots at...
I was going to say, that seems incredible that he rolled that low when I've been seeing 40s and 50s.
Yeah, I rolled his bayonet attack.
Oh, he could definitely come try.
We need to hit their ammo stores or their gunpowder. We need to destroy all that stuff.
All right,
That would be fun.
2 shots hit you.
Which game was it where you... Oh, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 3, right? Where you
Or 11
blow up
and
their-
7, respectively. And then this goblin will take a shot at Riven. 2 shots at Riven, sorry.
All right.
And those hits for 5 damage and 14. And then that'll bring us to Casimir.
All right. I will cast another magic missile at... we'll go with that goblin. Where's my... There it is. Did it not want to roll? All right. Here's the percentile. Come on. There we go. All right. So I'm good on that. So I think the damage isn't in that one. So there's the damage. And then
Okay.
Riven will move. Can she move over that way to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Mhm.
so you did magic missile,
Mhm.
and you get 3 dice.
I should get the maximum for my level. I don't know
Yeah.
why it does that. I think it's probably how they figured the level thing on it.
Yeah, my wand was working that way too.
Yeah, I think something's wrong because you did 3d4 plus 1. I think it should have been. I think each d4 gets a plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kills that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that.
Find my magic missile wand.
Yeah, that kills that one. And is that a wand you used or your?
No, I'm
your
using
spell
spells.
list? Okay, let me look at that and see why. But anyway, you wanted to move Riven over here.
Yeah, to attack the last one.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's have her target him. Come on. There we go.
All right, so that's a hit. So roll damage there, 19 damage, and then do the grapple. See if you get a 1. Okay,
All
you're
right.
successful there. So you've snatched up this goblin.
Yeah, and she'll begin hovering in that spot.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. That'll bring us to Graham.
We don't have much alive up there.
You can take a shot at Riven.
Maybe I'll try to move up and stay hidden. Try to sneak attack that goblin. What kind of range do we got? 25? Okay, so do we still have... is it just right below you that the concealment is occurring?
It's at the beginning of her turn. Is when
it's
it will
not
start.
going on right now.
Yeah.
Is there any way to remain behind cover as I make my approach up there, or concealment, Brandon?
You're technically tacking into a grapple. It doesn't have
Oh,
decks against
okay.
you.
Yeah, it's snatched up in the talon of
Oh,
Riven there.
well,
I mean, you can stay hidden if
Never
you
mind.
want.
never mind. I thought it was the other one that I thought was alive for a moment. So instead, I'll just try to look around for more threats and take total defense. So I'll do some spotting, I guess.
And be wary at all times.
Okay. All right. So, Casimir, I fixed your magic missile.
Okay.
So you should do 3d4 plus 3
All right.
force damage with that. You might have to re-prepare it, though, because I had to delete it. so.
Okay.
All right. So, Graham, you're moving up, and what did you want to do? You just want to get there?
No. I'm looking around and taking total defense, looking for more enemies.
Yeah, okay. So at this point...
I'll ask Fenrith if he sees anything where he's at.
At this point, you see the one that's been snatched up by Riven and then the melted one that's still somehow standing over by the well.
Oh. I don't want to go any closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be all my actions.
All right, Fenrith. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Dude has a single hit point left. All right. So, yeah, I mean, just cast it. I mean, even if he gets his save, he's still dead. So, yeah, so that kills him. Yeah, so this little this little ring of fire bursts up around him, and he falls dead with a gurgle as he falls to the ground and starts smoking. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then Rohan, back to you. So now you've reached the line where the island would have used to end, we'll say, and roll your spot for you and for Tempest.
Okay. There's mine. And close the map. I have to reopen the map to be able to see Tempest.
Oh, I'll roll it then. Just get that done. Let's see. Okay. You guys both rolled the same. All right. So you've reached that point, and then, Tempest, she, raises her head and ruffles some feathers the way you guys communicate. But you see it at the same time. Looking down into the trees, you spot the one of the lifeboats on the ground. Looks to be in good shape. One of them you spot in the tree branches, and then down on the ground you can spot multiple red shapes because they were wearing the red coats.
Okay.
You see them down there. You're not able to see like anything beyond the fact that they're there. You can't see what they're doing or how many. Just you see like 5 or 6 red flashes in the trees.
Yeah, that was all I was really looking for, was to see where they landed so that we had a place of origin for where to start hunting them from.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll climb up a little bit higher and head back towards the village.
Okay.
But as I make the circle, I'll keep an eye out for any other of the lifeboats that landed.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as you make that circle, looking in that general area, you see the tops of some trees shake a bit, and then like 2 of them fall over. And then you also see a bright red flash coming from down within the trees. You don't hear any sounds, but you see a bright red flash, and a couple of massive trees get toppled over.
Okay.
But that's what you see. All right. And then this goblin will try to break out of the grapple and is not successful. And that'll bring us to Casimir and Riven. And that it has 1 hit point left, so do the squeeze.
Oh, max damage.
Nice.
That goblin is dead.
All right. Riven will let go of him, and let's see, what's it look like? She'll try to find a place to land.
After she squeezed them out like a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah. Where do you think over here?
No, if she wants to land, it's going to have to be in this area here. Nowhere else in the village is suitable.
I was going to land south of the hall or on the village green.
Yeah, you could do that.
All right. Yeah, village green.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Yeah. All right. So you guys stand around, and all of the enemies are dead, and people start peeking out now of their homes and the places that they duck to. Some people, one woman near Graham crawls out from under a wagon, dusting herself off. And you hear loud cursing, which is notable because generally people of Cradle, they don't curse in public, and certainly not loudly. But a feminine voice is cursing really loudly, and you hear some more crashing and clanking from inside the blacksmith shop, and then a goblin corpse comes sailing out of the door, and the blacksmith steps out, and she looks angry enough to chew rocks. And she steps back and pays no mind to anything except for she steps back far enough to survey the damage on her roof, which has half of a lifeboat sticking out of it. And so she's sitting there cussing to herself about it. But the mayor steps out of the council hall, and she immediately starts going to all the other villagers and checking if everybody's okay. But that's the end of combat rounds. So what would you guys like to do?
Probably do some healing first up for those who need it.
Yeah, I'll call out that Riven needs healing, and then I need to go after Rohan. He went after some lifeboats.
String together a 10-hit combo on Riven here.
Yeah.
I'll start doing it. See if we break this wand today.
And I'll also do a situation report to Fenrith and Graham saying that I believe it was 2 airships. I don't quite know if I saw the second one explode, but they sunk off the coast, and some constructs that were serpent-like or eel-like went into the water, into the deepest depths before they disappeared. And then Rohan went after a couple lifeboats that went sailing out over the forest.
Maybe we should definitely think we should scavenge whatever we can from those, but also think we should go after Rohan.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do as soon as Graham's done bipping Riven here.
All right, I'll go get...
I'm done for the day.
I should be back by the time he finishes bipping.
I'll have to pass
Riven.
the wand off to you.
As I can finish you out if you want.
But that was only 5 or 6 rounds. I forgot now.
I think that's good enough. 53. I'll risk it. So, I'll have Riven start flying off the direction Rohan went.
Yeah,
Let's go saddle up, Graham.
Yeah.
I only flew north the same number of rounds that you guys were in combat.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like 5 or 6 rounds.
Right. As soon as Riven gets up to, altitude, she can see Tempest.
How far away he is?
Approaching.
4 charges.
Right.
Yeah, and so you've healed Riven a bit. Okay. And then Fenrith, you said you're going to go mount. You're going to go get on your rock.
As am I.
Okay. All right. So, the mayor comes up and she's like, what are we going to do?
Most likely die.
Yeah. Thank you, Rohan. Distant, disembodied Rohan. It's like you're right next to us.
If these threats are to be believed, it's like that time that we charged off and attacked the giants, stirred up the hornet's nest.
Yeah. We're under attack. We're going to go take the fight to this Dragon Emperor, or not Dragon Emperor, but the Emperor LeBlanc or whatever these things were announcing him as.
Okay. So, so she's like, well, be careful. And then Graham and Fenrith, you guys run off to go get your rocks. And then about this time, Rohan makes it back. And Rohan, you can see Riven from quite a ways away over the village. Right.
Okay.
Then back at the home of the heroes, you guys start the process of getting Jair and, Feanor saddled up.
Yeah, I'll fly back to where the stables are and land and see if Fenrith will heal Tempest, because Tempest is pretty...
Looks like a defeathered chicken.
Yeah, Tempest
starting
has
to get
taken
there, yeah.
quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
You want me to?
Yeah, do you want to pass the wand off?
Yeah.
Because in case I need these other spells at least.
Yeah. I thought you were done for the day, though.
Oh, yeah, I can't
He is.
do it. I just wanted to know if you wanted me to use the macro. I don't know
Yeah, if you want to, if you could,
Yeah.
because that would help.
Now, I have that spell on my druid spell list. Can I use that wand?
I believe so, yeah.
Should be able to. So as I'm sitting there bipping, as Rohan comes over, give me that. I'm going to use it, and starts bashing the Or even more.
One more?
Yeah.
So
That's 1, 2, 3, 4,
7, I think.
7.
I guess what I'll do is, having seen Tempest fly back overhead, I'll head back to where the shoreline where
Okay.
the crashes happened and make sure that nothing has really changed there, and be able to also point out where the constructs went down to these guys.
We should probably try and recharge this wand before we go anywhere.
Well, we got 20 charges left on it. As long as we don't heal the rocks again, it should last for a few combats. I think a full, Cat or Fenrith would just have to prepare differently, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, before we head out
Yeah.
from the town,
Yeah. Risk a
another flaming horse.
nuclear holocaust, a gnomish
I'll
nuclear
pump my
holocaust.
fist in the air. Yes.
Okay. So,
Let's do it.
Casimir, you go fly and look at the coastline.
Yeah, back where the constructs disappeared into the depths.
Yeah, so you get over that area. Well, I mean, before you even get to that area where when you can see the beach, you see multiple figures along the beach coming from the east, slipping into the water.
Okay.
You're not sure where they came from, but they're slipping in the water. And you can see that it's some of the bigger constructs, but mostly human and goblin sized, but they're slipping into the water. And as you get closer to that area where it drops down into the depths, you can see them swimming down that direction. You're not sure what they're swimming towards, but they are purposely heading in that direction. And let's see, do a spot check. And I'll do the.
Why do I get the eerie feeling that there's a voice saying build additional pylons and that this is going to be a teleport point? Building a frickin' forward operating base.
So you don't. I mean, that's what you see.
Yeah.
But Riven says that she sees, more of them down deeper, and continuing to go deeper. So, but even she can't see what their destination is down there.
Yeah, I guess I'll just circle this area because I expect they're going to be taking flight here. So I'll point it out to them when they get up in the air. My companions, not the goblins that are swimming down.
Okay.
I don't want to help them out.
All right. So you're going to stay up in the air and wait for them to join you?
Yeah, fairly high up. I'll start her climbing, hopefully out of what I think might be gunshot range, but that will probably not be actually out of their range increment. Just, like high for a bow or something like that is what I'd figure.
Okay. All right. So Graham, Fenrith, you guys are saddling up your rocks, and then Mudsway, he approaches and he asks if he can help, if he can come with you, or what he can do to help, because he's as good as dead anyway. So his only shot is to fight against these forces here on the island, on your island.
I'd suggest him joining the militia and helping train them to fight these things, because we're not going to be able to be everywhere.
Well, where are you guys going?
I don't know that it's fully been determined yet, but it seems like we're going to wage war on an empire.
Yeah.
But I mean, where right now?
We don't really figure those things out ahead of time.
I've actually been coming back to tell them where the enemy had landed.
Yeah, you're right. And he doesn't. Yeah, so he's just wondering what your guys' plan is. He says that, I saw the lifeboats going inland, but those ones that dropped into the water, I mean, they have underwater vehicles. So I can't say for sure that they have one here, but the fact that they dropped in the water doesn't necessarily mean that they're dead, and certainly not for the constructs. So I'm worried that an attack might just come from the ocean as soon as you guys leave.
Sounds like a villager problem.
Well, I'll stay here and I'll find the Zeus and I'll help the militia and we'll do what we can. But just thought you guys should know they have vehicles that travel under the water. Oh, and he also says that airship that crashed, the one you guys fought, that those are like, that's a scout. It's a scout ship. They never, they're never going to be. That's never all there is. A ship like that. There's got to be are there
any weapons that we could possibly scavenge off of there that would be more effective against these constructs?
Well, Riven squished several enemies that had those firearms.
Well, I don't know what weapons would be effective against them.
Are these things that these goblins have been using effective against them? Do you know?
I doubt it.
Are you trying to determine like an in-universe reason we would know adamantine, or do we already know that? So I thought somebody witnessed their weapon doing better.
I know that my weapon hurts constructs.
Yeah, and
I know that mine does not affect them.
And we recognize that they were made of adamantine.
Well, these he says that the stories, not that I've seen it firsthand, but the stories say that those weapons that the goblins are using and the humans, those rifles, won't work for anybody but who they're made for. I don't know if that's true or not.
Genetic ID.
Pretty easy to test. Of
course,
send one of your children to go get.
Yeah, we're
grab one and
Casimir's brothers.
Test it. Yeah,
I'd rather send my father.
Graham's sisters, either one.
Want to go shooting, Dad?
Go shoot.
Even though he doesn't
dad.
seem to be drunk right now.
All right, Graham, Fenrith, and you're in the air, right, Ron? Or you landed to get healed?
Yeah,
All right.
but I would have taken off with them.
Okay, so you're up with Casimir?
With Graham and Fenrith.
I don't think we took off yet.
Oh, then...
It was only Casimir that went off.
Okay, then yeah, I'd still be on the ground.
All right, then you three roll a spot check. Now.
I have to find Spot, then I have to find my tower.
It's weird, it wouldn't let me grab it the first time.
Okay, so you guys are standing around talking with Mudsway, and something catches your attention, and you look back to the house. All three of you happen to see it. You look up at the house from where you're standing. The windows on the second floor would be in that storeroom where the gnome thing is, and then there's some books and different stuff in there. But you spot movement in one of those windows up there, and as you look up, there's a flutter of the curtains, but you catch an old man with silver hair and beard dip out of sight behind the curtain.
Let's go kill him.
Just have the rock just...
Which is not somebody that
intruded into our home.
Generally would be in your house.
Let's set fire to it and we'll smoke him out.
This is a siege.
If I see that, I'm going to start running towards the house. And I'll call back that we need to take this one alive.
Okay. You guys going to follow him?
Yep.
I'll stay out here.
Let's see how this unfolds.
What happened in the hero house to you, Fenrith?
All right. Graham and Fenrith, you burst into the house. Folwyn is in the kitchen, and he drops some dishes, startled by the suddenness of your entrance. But you pay him no mind. You dart upstairs, and right up the stairs is the open doorway into that storeroom. And you go in there, and there's, this room has always been a little bit messy, but it's got a big carpet, nice carpet on which that pedestal sits. And then there's some shelves and tables and chairs and things like that. A few books or whatever. And seated in one of the chairs is an old man. He's a big guy. He has an elvish appearance to him, but he's, more solid, more broad. And he's got long silver hair and beard and even a silver sheen to his eyes. You recognize him.
Right, from that cave, right?
Right away, yeah. On the little table next to that chair, he's cleared off whatever was on there, and there's a lantern sitting on it that, as you look closer, you realize it's actually a bird cage, giving off some light with little birds flying inside of it. And he's sitting in the chair, and he's like, no need to hurry on my account.
Yeah, I guess I'll just be like, it's you.
For some reason, I don't remember this person.
I don't know that you saw him. You guys were passed out, and I was dragging you in.
I'm pretty sure we saw him because I think he's the one that got us out of the
Was he?
crucible.
You recognize him because he led all of you through a portal that ended with you falling from the sky.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. Okay,
It's this
that
guy.
What are you doing here?
That's right.
So anyway, he says to Fenrith and Graham, he says, I've come to counsel you not to be so hasty. There is a change on the winds, and things are going to get very dangerous for you and your people.
It already has, and I'll look towards Graham.
So he kind of like looks towards the window, and he says, you and your companions are of a mind to chase off after these invaders. And of course you should, but please call your other friends in and let me speak with you. The invaders will still be there tomorrow. I have many things I would say.
But I want to kill him now.
Do the windows to this room open?
No. I mean, they have curtains, but they don't open.
I'll go back down to the door then, and call to Rohan to
I'll fire an arrow at him.
go or ask him to go get Casimir and come back.
Order acknowledged.
We have a guest that would counsel us on our next course of action.
I'll just kind of shrug and go get on Tempest and head off.
Yes, I hate
He just
guess.
flies up to the light tower. Yeah, whatever.
Nah.
I don't know what this other person has to do with me, so yeah, I'll get on Tempest and fly up to go retrieve Casimir.
Okay.
So we got the reluctant hero.
All right. So Casimir Rohan approaches, and he's saying there's someone we've got to talk to back at the house.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of give one last look at the ocean depth where they're all going into, and then follow Rohan or start heading back towards the House of the Heroes.
Okay. All right. So eventually you all get landed, and you make your way up into that room where the old man is seated on that chair there. And, he thanks you for taking the time to speak with him and says that he's got important things to tell you that you must know before you decide what to do next. And so he beckons you to, seat yourselves, get comfortable. And then he leans forward and begins to speak. And that's where we'll have to stop for today.
All right. Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Begin
thank you.
here next week.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's always a good time if I get to throw a fireball.
Yes.
10 out of 10 fireballs.
Yeah, we're going to have to get moving pretty.
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.